Alright, so I have a proposed remedy for Archimedes' axiom 5. The Archimedean property. Okay. Archimedes and axiom. Alright, so here's a repaired form of axiom 5. Very little has to be done here. Given reals x and y, where x is greater than 0 and y is finite, there is some positive integer n such that nx is greater than y. This now should work just fine. But we do need to add a supplemental axiom here. We need to define what the fuck finite means. Okay? So here, finite, and if you object to it being called this and want to call it something else, I don't give a shit. The point is, this is what I'm talking about here. Okay? Finite here refers to values over which arithmetic is valid. That is, specific values which a bounded series can be bounded toward. Right? And it's irrelevant whether these values can be constructed via arithmetic. For instance, pi is a valid bound for a bounded series despite being transcendental. And it can be manipulated via arithmetic because statements like pi is greater than 0, thus 2 pi is greater than pi, are true. Now, the attractor of an unbounded series cannot be modified via arithmetic since it is not an ordinal. Okay? Consider Hilbert's hotel, right? Hilbert's paradox of the Grand Hotel, or whatever the hell you want to call it, wherein there is a guest to every room is not identical in meaning to no more guests can be accommodated. We're simply looking at it from the opposite side. Instead of adding from the origin and failing to change the size of the non-finite value, we're adding from the non-finite end and failing to change the size of the non-finite value. It's the same thing. This applies equally to any cardinality of infinity, right? So Hilbert's hotel utilizes LF0, right? It's countably infinite, but it doesn't matter. If it works there, it's going to work for the other ones. Okay. Now here's the important part. Effectively, well-ordered transfinite values will never be the subject of our inquiry here, since by their definition, they cannot serve as the end of a sequence. Okay? These cannot be the attractors of unbounded series because they are bounds. They're artificial bounds within the space of the real numbers. So for our purposes here, transfinites are finite. And fucking around with things like Cantor normal forms is a complete waste of time. Talking to me about, oh, well, you can have omega plus 1, or omega times 2, or omega squared, or you can turn omega into epsilon, or epsilon into alpha, or whatever the fuck. Like, no. You're doing it wrong. You're never going to get those as the attractors for an unbounded series because those are bounds. So if you're thinking that, you're just stupid. Okay? Now here we have a repaired proof, and it has two parts. So let y be any finite real. Now since x is greater than 0, y is greater than y minus x. Thus, y plus x is greater than y. Let n be the whole part of y plus x on x plus 1. Now nx is greater than y. That's the first part. That's for if y is finite. But should y be any non-finite real as defined up above, right? So transfinites do not count as non-finite. Yeah, under the definition here. Since arithmetic is not valid over y, by definition, arithmetic operations cannot establish an ordering between y and other non-finite reals, if any exist. Thus, y plus x simply yields y. Either it's nonsense, or it's impossible to distinguish between the two. So y plus x cannot be compared to y other than to say that they're equivalent. Now, shit works. And feel free to reword things, formalize this however the hell you want. I don't give a shit. But the way that you have it, right now, this is a fucking joke. This is stupid. Are you kidding me? It's not even consistent with your own shit. How do you have Hilbert's Hotel and the current version of the Archimedean property? Come on, fuck off.